it's Dr. Strangelove, and we're back today with the last episode, I think, of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I, of course, am in cosplay for the occasion because, as you guys know, I love to cosplay or do something special, like a special makeup or something like that when I finish a game, and especially the Metal Gear series. I mean, there are so many super interesting characters that I just really enjoy cosplaying, and this wig, you guys might recognize it because I've already used it twice for a cosplay of Metal Gear in previous games, and that's when I noticed. So Kojima likes short blonde white hair, I guess, because I just noticed now that there are so many female characters that have that, but it is the same wig that I used for Olga in MGS2, my cosplay of Olga, and my cosplay of Laughing Octopus in MGS4. So I thought, might as well reuse it for Dr. Strangelove. It's perfect, you know, and the rest I had to procure for myself. If you guys want to help with that, by the way, thank you so much because you guys actually did. I always put some Amazon gifted cards on my throne. I'll put it in the description if you want to help me do these cosplays, basically, because I don't always have all these things lying around, you know. I didn't have that tie. I didn't have that. I didn't have the little earring, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just details, but I love to be as faithful as possible for cosplay, although I'm an amateur cosplayer, as I always say. I'm no professional. It's just for fun, but you know, I still try to be as faithful as I can, and to do that I need to procure myself some stuff, you know, usually from Amazon. So thank you so much everyone who gifted me gifted cards through Throne for Amazon, because they help pay for my cosplays. So yeah, if you want to help, of course you can always head over to my Throne. I have other stuff there sometimes as well, but usually it's PlayStation gifted cards and Amazon, so I can also have the games at a lesser price. So today I have done a little bit of stuff off camera. I've done a couple of Zadornov missions. I think we have 2 left, mission 5 and mission 6 per my spoiler-free guide. I think we have that, and I think there's 2 extra ops that we need to do in between 5 and 6. So there's that. Apart from that, I didn't do that much. Like I did Fulton recovery and stuff like that. Nothing major. I didn't do AI battles. I didn't try again. And also, I would like to listen to cassettes and briefings if we can. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan for today. And I know pretty much what I can do. I was waiting for you guys, actually, because the next mission number 5, I started it. And then I noticed it was the same. It was the level with the trucks. So I'm like, okay, maybe now he's hiding in one of the trucks, you know? Maybe. I don't know. I hope so, because if that's the case, then I can finally react to what you guys were saying. You were saying that I missed something. I missed some Easter eggs in the truck, so maybe they're still there. Who knows? So I thought I should keep that on camera, and that's why I did that. But yeah, I think without further ado, let's just jump into it. Let's go. Okay, by the way, my mother base is full. Ooh, this one would be good for them, and I can exchange. I'm at that point, guys, okay, where I'm exchanging like whether it's a good letter or not. I'm like exchanging them and putting them in the waiting room instead, because I can't have more than 100 or 50 or whatever for these. So I'm like, I'm having some trouble with my roster. But you know, we're developing a lot of stuff, so there's that. It's going well. It's going well. It's just a little bit like, how can I say? It's like a little bit of back and forth, you know. Yeah, so let's do this one.
Snake, Zadornov's escaped custody again. You have to track him down.
Will do. Yeah, night vision. Soliton is so good, dude. I love it. I love it. It's the best thing ever. No kidding. I'm a little bit annoying with it though, I will say, because I keep like equipping on equipping, equipping on equipping, so it's like chick 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 all the time. I hope you guys won't mind.
Find Zadornov, Snake.
I'm like all the time. Okay. So I checked all these doors off camera, so I don't know if it's also a random thing. Maybe he's in the houses sometimes, maybe he is not, like who knows, but I have my suspicions that he must be in the trucks. I'm pretty sure that's probably what's happening, right? Sorry, it's just my mic is a little loud, I feel like. I don't know if it's just because of my earphones that I'm wearing. Let's go. See, so like you even see where they're looking, which is, it's just, it's so good. Unbelievable, you know? Oh yeah. So I don't remember. Can we go?
Fulton recovered a helicopter is
Oh yeah, there's a
complete.
document. Turn around. Oh goodness.
Freeze.
Give me that. A smoke box. Let's do this.
Freeze.
That's good. Alright. I love doing that too, doing the hold up after CQCing. It's so OP. Holding up is like honestly the OPS thing. I don't know if it's the same in MGS5. I'm so excited to see if it's the case as well, like if you can just hold up. I'm sure it'll be a little more intricate.
Freeze.
It's probably not going to be that easy, you know. Peace Walker really has been the easiest Metal Gear.
Enemies close by.
Fuck off. No. Shit.
Understood. Dispatching reinforcements now.
God damn it. That's bad. What if I just go? Ah, they're coming. The alert is not gonna disappear, is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. We did not start this well. Okay. God damn it.
HQ, come in.
This is HQ.
This is patrol. Contact lost. Going to alert status.
Understood. The enemy should still be nearby. Find him.
Freeze.
Fuck.
What is it? What happened?
Goodbye. I'm probably missing important documents, whatever. We are powering through. Oh, Lord. You know what?
Freeze. HQ, come in.
This is HQ.
This is patrol. All clear.
Understood. Stay vigilant.
Okay, nothing here. Oh my god. Okay. So here I could do the same thing I did before. Here we go. Fuck. Okay. Oh, I thought we were okay.
Understood. Eliminate all hostiles.
Ah! Oh no, the other ones. They're coming! Alright, let's go see. I'm pretty sure he must be here, right? At least I didn't see him anywhere else.
Kaz, I'm inside the facility.
For sure he's
There's
here.
rows and rows of trucks here.
And that was Missy.
Zadornov should be somewhere in that area. Find him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see.
Not this one. Metal Gear.
A literal Metal Gear. That was awesome. This one.
Mr. Kojima.
Okay. What?
Damn it.
Oh.
You found me.
Oh. I think we faulted. We faulted Kojima. That's so good. Metal Gear. Ah, I think there was another truck though. Sorry. That was good. That was worth. Prisoner. Oh no, it's probably
I found him,
Zadornov.
Kaz.
Close, but no cigar. Not for you anyway. Snake, we're coming to pick him up.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's Paz taking him out from the prison. Pretty sure. I feel it. Oh, join. That's so good. Where do we put him? We need to see his details. Wait. Here. 70% of my existence is made of movies. It is up to you to decide what to do with the remaining 30%. vibe. Low-key, I'm the same though. He's an S in medical and intel. That is crazy. Wait. Oh, good for the mess hall. B. Do we have something? Oh my god. Waiting room. And then who's worse here? And then here. Very cool. Why not? So now I think I need to do 2 extra missions. If I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna go do that. I don't think you guys really need to see. It's just like extra missions, you know, like nothing major. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be back.
Snake,
Ooh.
Zadornov's done it again.
Great.
Snake, Zadornov's done it again.
Give me a break.
Snake, listen. Zadornov's done it again.
Come on.
I hate to entertain the thought, but this might be an inside job.
What the hell's he after anyway?
No clue. Can't imagine he's just out to annoy us, though.
You know, it might not be worth keeping him here. He's not gonna join us.
You may be
Right.
right. I thought it might boost our Russian compatriots' morale, but okay. I'll think it over.
Let's hope he's just playing hide and seek.
I've added a new mission. Go get Zadornov.
Oh my god. Alright, here we go. So I know that I need to go to target practice. I'm not sure if it's like which one it is. Let me just see. Wait. Oh yeah, I have easy gun now. That's new. I was saying, yeah, I'm not sure if it's this one or this one. Kill house or shooting range. I guess there are more places to hide
Commence
here.
target practice. As a special treat, you can practice freely on any of the targets in the...
In a kill house, right? Yeah. Now we need to find him. Let's go look everywhere. And I don't care about anything else. Not here. I could use that, I guess. My radar. Okay, I don't see. So maybe it's the other target practice. Is the blue dot just these things? I'm guessing so. Okay. Let's check the number 1. I know it's like one of the early target practice, so I wonder how people found this out the first time around. Like, I have a guide, so obviously it's fine. But imagine just playing, you know, for the first time and not having a guide. Like, people just played over and over all the missions to get better, I guess, better scores. And that made this, like, possible. I'm not sure.
Commence target.
Like you just stumble upon him, like... I don't know. It's crazy. It's cool, though. I love that sense of community that happens with games sometimes when we all come together, you know?
Just the place for a little target practice, huh? When you're done, head over to the exit.
There's a second floor. Uh-huh. Oh. A t-shirt. A plain white t-shirt. There's another floor over that. Okay. Ah, but we can't go. Huh? Should I use the love box? Maybe it's not here. Ah, I'm stupid. There is a mission number 6. Ah, okay. I thought the mission number 6 would be to look for him in the target practice. I misunderstood the guide. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I was like, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure what, but I'm doing something wrong. Okay. All right, we're back on track. I didn't even think of checking main missions. I was just like, okay, I think the next step is this.
Find Zadornov and bring him back here with Fulton recovery.
Mm-hmm. Where is he?
Wait.
There's a love box there.
Can't be imagining things.
Is he in the love box?
Freeze.
Ah!
Can I... Oh, sorry. Can I break it? Is he there? No. Okay. I mean, I had to try.
Freeze.
Ah! What's going on?
Oh, fuck. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Next. Freeze.
Try using Fulton recovery on him.
I knew he would be in the love box. That was
Head for the
too
recovery
easy.
zone.
That was so much fun.
Mission complete. The folks back at Mother Base will be thrilled.
Okay. Now I think we can go to target practice. I'm so sorry. The fact that I need to check so often too. I'm really impressed by the people who did all this without a guide. That's crazy.
Kaz, I've located Zadornov.
Nice work. I knew you would. How could I be so stupid?
It's like he's playing with us. You know? I don't know if we need to do other missions, maybe.
Commence target practice.
Like, because now Kaz hasn't said that he is out again, so I don't know. This is so complicated. Unbelievable. Yeah, I guess we need to do yet another mission, maybe.
Again, Snake.
Oh, Zadornov. What's he got, an escape
Here we go.
He clearly has friends on the inside, but we've got no way of knowing who.
All right,
Persistent
we needed to
bastard,
do
I'll give
one
him
other
that. Where's
extra
he
op.
this time?
That's the thing. He must have found and gotten rid of the transmitter. We've got no idea where he is. Snake, think you can find him?
We can't just
It's my
let him
time to
run around.
shine.
Makes us look bad.
I'll say. Since we can't locate him, I'm afraid I can't add a new mission. You know what to do, Snake.
I do indeed. I actually do now. Here we go.
Commence target.
Just go do a little target practice in the meantime. We need Snake. Yeah. It's fine. Because I think everything else is fine, you know, my Zeke. I don't know what else.
Welcome
I
to the
forgot,
shooting
but
range. Just the place for a little target practice, huh? When you're done, head over to the exit.
there we go. There we go.
Big boss!
Oh my god. Did we just kill him?
My work is done.
What are you talking about?
V for victory!
Ah, like Coldman.
Rocket! Peace!
What the hell? Okay.
Kaz, I found Zadornov. I had to kill him.
So much for our fugitive.
Something's not right here. I'm thinking he had a friend.
Someone inside MSF.
Pause.
What's going on?
It's Zeke. It's moving.
What?
Mm?
Somebody inside. I can see them. Snake,
You're kidding.
get up here. Pronto.
I'm gonna have to break Zeke. Why is the whole arm gone? It's just the hand. That is so Kojima-esque, by the way. That whole sequence with the prosthetic. I love it. I love it. Very Death Stranding, you know. Oh, Lord. That's my Zeke. I spent a while, a long time building this. Are you kidding? It's Paz.
Paz. Get down from there before you hurt somebody.
Maybe I want to hurt somebody.
What's going on? She's not herself.
Cause
Oh, I
she
am
ne-
myself, all right.
What the?
My true self.
Why is she in her underwear again?
Kaz, shut that thing down.
I can't. The controls aren't responding.
Then how's it moving?
I made some modifications. This machine was meant to have a human pilot.
Like Metal Gear.
Modifications. Paz, what are you...
Never thought I'd be into machines, huh?
Then Zadornov's escape was a diversion.
Paz, what are you doing?
While we were
I'm
doing
taking
that,
it
she
back.
worked on it.
Taking it back. Where?
To our leaders. To Cypher.
Cypher.
Oh my god,
This weapon is
Kojima.
Cypher's creation.
Jeez.
Paz, get down from there.
Do not call me that. I am Pacifica Ocean.
You're 70% movies, 30% horny, Kojima, okay? Let's be all honest here.
My name, my age, my mission. Cypher gave them all to me. My entire life has but one purpose. To carry out Cypher's plan. The nasty tobacco. The angel of peace crap. The whole thing
Damn.
is a dream routine. I am through with all of it.
Pause. You
I
can't.
told you not to call me that. It makes me want to puke.
Damn.
Everything is gone exactly as planned. Now the
Real Peace Walker project
So I was
is
right.
finally about to reach its goal.
Real project.
My initial suspicions at the end of the other ending. Damn.
Once upon a time, there were two young men who idolized a hero called the Boss. One day, they suddenly lost the point of origin. This Cypher, that was like a mother to them. Unable to come to terms with their sorrow, they each decided to carry on the will of their hero. But they could not agree on what that meant. In the end, they became bitter enemies, and the Zero from which they both started was split into two.
Major
And You
Zero.
have been on the wrong path ever since. There is no happily ever after waiting for you in the end, unless you obey the will of Cypher. Where does an army without borders call home? A state without borders, of course. A world without borders.
A world without borders.
The Cold War order is about to collapse. The age of electronic intelligence is about to begin. The NSA,
She sounds so
NRO,
different.
DIA, etc., etc. The intelligence community that is long bickered amongst itself will be united in a world governed by electrons. Cypher will gather all information, watching over the world and guiding the will of its people, all while they remain blissfully unaware. There
It's
will be
just the
no one to
Patriots.
oppose
It's just another
For the
name.
first time, the world will be ruled by a single will.
Is Ocelot behind all
Until the new
this?
order is in place, you and your army will be the force that
I have my
protects it.
suspicions.
You will be Cypher's deterrent, pulling the wool over the eyes of the old order with your charisma and military prowess. Accept our offer, and we will allow you to retain control of MSF and Zeke.
That's an offer.
The boss threw down her gun, and with it, her life's calling. You, her disciple, have never been able to do that. You are too afraid to let go.
I was made to fight. I am a gun.
Is that so? Then what do you call this? Is it a gun too? You are a lousy liar. Admit it. This thing is a monstrosity, a product of your own fear. But not Cypher. Cypher thought of something different. Cypher's going to control guns.
Control guns.
That is right. Not deter, control. It is the ultimate approach to the illusion of peace.
Control power. You're gonna be disappointed.
Then we are done. Thank you for playing. Better luck next
Nah.
time. The offer
Is rescinded. And now the ultimatum. Zeke is already in nuclear strike mode.
What?
I'm taking the weapon you built and using it to launch a nuclear strike on the east coast of the United States.
Of course.
You're insane. What are you
Not the
after?
East
But
Coast.
wait. Here's your
No.
consolation prize.
I'm East Coast
We
Canada.
are about to show the world just how dangerous a gang of outlaws, an army without borders can be. You and your men. will
What the
become
hell is going on?
pariahs, And you will be wiped off the face of the earth. Rather than heroes, you will be seen as a well-armed extremist cult prone to indiscriminate outbursts of nuclear aggression.
You will give rise to a new world order, an age of deterrence defined by its fear of extremist cult influence. Do you like the picture I am painting? Big boss.
When all is said and done,
You gotta die.
This is nothing but a fantasy. A game is a game. You either win.
Damn,
or
her
lose.
old character means
All you
nothing
can
now.
do is fight.
I mean,
Stop
You know
me
what I
if you
mean.
can. The peace sign is.
so
the
is that
V
why
of
she's in her
victory.
underwear? It's the excuse is that it's hot in there?
Peace.
Yo. Okay. Alright then. I kind of like that she turns out not so innocent. I don't hate
She's
that.
gonna launch a nuke. Snake, we've got to stop her. Whatever it takes. Awaiting your orders.
And the mission will continue next. I need to break my Zeke. Come on, that's not cool. That ain't cool, Paz. I don't care if it makes you puke. I don't give a shit. Puke then. Paz. Paz, you had Kaz at your feet. Kaz. My name is Kaz. What do you do with it? This? Can't relate. She's the bad girl. Zeke battle. Paz is taking control of Zeke. Stop her from launching the nuke and get Zeke back. But it's gonna be all broken. No one has anything to say about this. Oh, we still have the Paz stuff? That's cool. Battle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Here we go. I'll be heffin' slow, but I'll be powerful.
She's gonna launch a nuke. Snake,
Nah.
we've got to stop her. Whatever it takes. Awaiting your orders.
Whatever it takes.
Stop me if you can.
Yeah, I can. Oh my god, it's fast! Ooh, the music.
Stop before she can launch that nuke.
Bitch.
We've activated the hatches up on deck. You can use them as covers so long as they're open.
Why is the music so good? Ah.
Other base's gun platform to you. The control panel is on the edge of the deck.
Ah! The Japanese, let's go!
They've okayed the request for support. They're sending out a cardboard box as we speak.
Uh-huh. I'm sure I will. The control panel is on the edge of the deck. This?
Strike request acknowledged. We'll need you to tag the target directly. First, make sure you're safe by pressing out against the wall. First, make sure you're safe by pressing up against the wall. Then use the L1 button to locate the enemy's position, and press the attack button to tag him.
Okay.
We do not need peace.
Locked on target. Fire!
Okay, that's cool. Wait, what?
Transport catapult ready to launch.
We do not need peace.
I'm...
We do not need peace.
Okay, so... That didn't work at all. Can I do it again?
They've okayed the request for support. They're sending out a cardboard box as we... It's out of ammo. Wait for it to reload.
Well, fuck. Ah! Wow. Oh my god.
Just reload it. Let them have it.
Ah! Whew. Oh, come on. Oh my god.
Rocket launcher ready to fire. Supplies are loaded in the transport catapult. Fire away.
Does it work? I don't even know. I don't... How? What? How does it work? I am not sure I understand. I am not sure.
Rocket launcher ready to fire.
Okay. I'm not sure
How could we have been so blind?
I'm not doing this right. I don't know what... I don't understand. It worked only once.
Transport catapult ready to launch.
Okay. I'm trying, guys, but
Rocket launcher ready to fire. Target confirmed. Commence attack.
Okay, it doesn't... I need to wait, I think. Oh my god. Oh! You didn't like that, eh?
Launchers reloaded. Let 'em have it. Supplies are loaded in the transport catapult. Fire away.
I love the music though, I have to say.
Rocket launcher ready to fire.
So I need to wait a little bit to see what she's gonna do. Oh my god. Oh boy. Do I need to do both?
Target or not. We're aborting the strike for now. Transport catapult ready to launch.
I had a target, but
Rocket launcher ready to fire. Target acknowledged. Bombs away.
there we go. Oh my god. That was better. Ooh, that's so good. Oh.
He's getting distracted by the gun platform. Now's your chance to attack.
Nice. Oh. Let me get these. I don't know what they are. Great carry. Ow.
The rocket launcher's reloaded. Let him have it.
Yes, okay. But I don't know if here is a good idea. I don't think so.
Supplies are loaded in the transport catapult. Fire
Oh,
away.
you can go up here? Oh no, out of order. Whoa! Okay, just leave this platform. It's not that hard. Ah! Oh, I'm out.
The OK is your request for a cardboard box. It'll be sent out shortly.
Okay, now we could. Ah!
Rocket launcher ready to fire.
Ah! Oh, nice, 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 nice. Sorry.
That cannon's taken a beating. It's useless now.
It's fine. We almost got her. I should... the music. The music is so good. Truly. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Oh lord. Go! Go! Okay. Oh my god. First try, but that took everything. We heard the whole song like 5 times. Oh my god.
It is no use. Zeke is out of my control. This is where it ends. Listen to me, Big Boss. As long as your army is needed, the world will never know true peace.
I like the added mechanic with the rockets and everything. That was cool.
Illusory. They will use you, disgrace you, and then finally discard you like they would a cancer to society.
Damn, it's true.
This is the path you have chosen.
Bye bye. That's Kaz.
Kaz.
Do we really care though? Like, am I a bad person? I'm role playing Doctor Strangelove. It's fine. A? I'm surprised. I'm surprised we got A for that.
Who would have thought that little girl was working against us?
Tell me about it. She had everybody fooled, me included. Can't believe I didn't pick up on anything.
Snake, there's no point in beating yourself up over the past. But hey, maybe you should put in some practice against Zeke in case this sort of thing ever happens again. In any case, I need to go talk to Dr. Strangelove. Zeke still isn't ready.
Huey!
It's all broken up now.
How's it going? How's Zeke look?
The attitude control AI had a backup, so it should be able
Hi,
to walk.
twin.
Really? Well, that's good.
Beyond that, it's up to the creator. Stop! Don't come any closer, Doctor.
There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Do you despise me?
She's
Doctor,
so pretty.
Are you asking me out?
No, not at all.
I blushed!
Pity. Because I've just had my heart broken by someone else.
What?
I only like those who can stand on their own. If you fancy me, then come walk with me. Who knows what miracles might happen. Love is blind after all. Take your time. I'll be waiting.
She thinks he can actually walk or stand on their own, walk with me. Wait, what? So she's not lesbian. It was a prejudice people had, I guess. I'm not sure. Is she the mother of Hal?
Snake!
Is she actually the mother? Oh my god. I have questions. Are we gonna see Kaz actually animated? We're using the prosthetic. Ooh, those are cool.
That name Paz mentioned at the end, cipher. It's a code. It means empty. It also means
0.
Ooh.
a world of electronic intelligence built on codes, and at the center of it all, a 0.
Kaz,
Have we seen him animated since the
look,
beginning of
boss,
the game? I don't think
I owe
so.
you an apology.
At least
Hear me out, okay?
now that I love him.
sure.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
I knew Paz and the professor. I knew who they really were all along.
Kaz,
I used them.
I suppose you were the one that brought them to Columbia in the first place, huh?
Guilty as charged. Paz wasn't just CIA, you know. She was working for the KGB too.
Yeah, obviously.
And for this cipher group. In other words, she was a triple
Just like
agent.
Ocelot.
You knew all of this?
Wait, let me finish. Listen, MSF never would have gotten this big if it weren't for them. This mercenary business we built. Someday it's gonna be a new driving force in the world economy.
Is that your goal all along?
The Cold War's not gonna last
The
forever.
music.
Sooner or later, it's gonna give way to an era of regional conflicts and terrorism. A paradigm shift from counter-communism to counter-terrorism. In the new age, armies won't be tied to states, and war will become a business. We'll be a valuable commodity. There'll be clients all over the world who need our services. MSF is only the beginning. What we're creating here is a revolution in itself. Am I right?
Kaz, it's not going to be that easy.
What do you mean?
This whole Peace Walker thing has left our mark on the history of the Old Order. We've put ourselves on the radar of intelligence agencies and governments east and west. The whole world probably knows about us now.
Including that cipher outfit.
We've let ourselves interfere with the times, with the Cold War system of deterrence. We're an army without a flag. We weren't supposed to take sides in international affairs.
Technically,
but
you
we
have a
did.
flag though, but I get what
I
he
see your
means.
point. So what happens to us now?
We'll be hunted.
Not everybody's gonna be happy with us, huh?
You're damn right. We upset the global military balance of power.
And these people would rather our army without borders not exist at all?
They're gonna come knocking real soon. There's no turning back now. We're a wrench in the old system of deterrence.
Look at them. Oh my god. That's
As long as the
thumbnail
times refuse
worthy
to
right there.
change, we're gonna make a hell of a racket.
Then who are we gonna fight?
The establishment. Anybody who tries to restore the old balance wants to snuff us out of existence.
Which establishment?
It won't be a particular country or ideology that hunts us.
Who then?
Patriot.
We are gonna be fighting the biggest beast of all. The Times. 10 years ago, the Times rejected the boss and killed her. And now, we're the ones being tested. Will the Times erase us? Or work with us? It's gonna be a lonely battle. No good or evil. No winners or losers.
I love this.
Business will have to wait. The question we have to ask ourselves now is, can we survive long enough to see the 21st century?
I'm with you, boss. We'll see how it turns out together.
That dialogue, though.
The hunt is on, Kaz. And the whole world's on our tail. Assemble the men.
No, I get it. Okay. I'm really happy they've done this because I had so many questions, you know. I get it. I get where he's coming from. I don't agree, but I understand his development now. Because I was left a little confused. Is it the same credits? Not exactly, I think. No, I guess it's the same. November 9, that's my birthday. 1993, not 89 though, but close enough. Triggers the Outer Heaven uprising in 95. Miller is found assassinated in his home by an unknown assailant. Liquid! Liquid! Sorry, spoiler alert. Ah! I'm glad I played MGS1 first, because that's a big spoiler. Yuri Lewento? Who? Troy Baker? Who? Wait. Which characters? I'm so bad at recognizing voices and performers. Anyways. Okay, here's the thing. I believe they should have made this ending easier to get. I believe it shouldn't be as grindy as it is, because that is such a good ending. And don't get me wrong, the ending on the main story is also really good. Like, I'm not comparing them at all. I just think that this is an added plus on understanding where Big Boss is coming from in the next installments, right? Like, why is he doing what he's doing later on? I think it helps understand why. They're kind of stuck, honestly. They don't really have much of a choice because they have certain values that are very important to them. I'm saying them, like especially Kaz and Big Boss. They have certain values, and to keep those protected, they kind of have to do what they're doing. Also, this song is... I need to learn it, like for karaoke or something. I don't know it. I don't know it, but it's so good. Heaven's the vibe, right? What was I saying? I wanted to say something more. Also, yeah, the ending with Strangelove and Huey. You know, I feel like they should have made that ending a little bit more obtainable, like a little easier to obtain. I don't know, maybe it's just me. You guys let me know what you think, but I feel like the grind was kind of bad. Like, it was... it was quite something, and I did a lot of it off camera, you know? Most of it I did off camera, so... Oh, wait, maybe I'll see here. Oh, no, it's the Japanese, obviously. So, yeah. Ashley Wood, by the way, incredible artist for... I think he did the cutscenes, right? If I'm not mistaken. The cutscene art. But yeah, have we seen Kaz animated like that? I don't think we did. Did we in the beginning of the game? And I didn't... Like, I wasn't that into him yet, so I didn't... into his character. And also, remember when I said I feel like Kaz will always have our back? Now, he kind of proved me wrong here, because, I mean, he still got MSF's back and our back, but he kind of... He didn't betray us, but he withheld information that was really important. So I'm like, ooh, okay, he can do that to protect the bigger, like for the greater good, right? I don't really like that, because I was comparing them in a previous episode. I was comparing Kaz and Huey in relation to Big Boss, and I feel like now I'm unsure, you know. I still trust Kaz more than Huey, but yeah, I don't know. That was such a good ending. I feel like my head is a little bit scrambled. We're gonna see if there's an after credit scene. After that I will stop, but I'll come back another day for the cassettes and briefings, so don't worry guys, we're gonna do that now. For you, it's gonna be edited together, but for me today I need to go. I have a dancing lesson to go to. But yeah, no, I'm glad I did that ending. I think, like I said, the grind is kind of bad, but I'm still happy I did it because it brought a lot for me. It did. Like, it's not worthless at all. It really brought a lot, so I don't know if I can do anything. No, okay. We have to wait. It's almost finished, it's fine. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed, obviously, this ending as well. Oh, l'existentialisme est un humanisme. Interesting, Sartre. Oh yeah, it's true, they did, I think they did reference it. But yeah. Okay, guys. Let's see if Ocelot appears or not in a codec call, in a radio call. We can't spin an MGS game without Ocelot, right?
We will forsake our countries. We will leave our
Snake?
motherlands behind us and become one with this earth. We have no nation, no philosophy, no ideology. We go where we're needed, fighting not for country, not for government, but for ourselves. We need no reason to fight. We fight because we are needed. We will be the deterrent for those with no other recourse. We are soldiers without borders, our purpose defined by the era we live in. We will sometimes have to sell ourselves and services. If the times demand it, we'll be revolutionaries, criminals, terrorists, and yes, we may all be headed straight to hell. But what better place for us than this? It is our only home, our heaven, and our hell.
He sounds older, doesn't he?
Is our heaven.
Ooh. It's like the antithesis of, is that how you say, of the boss at this point? Like, he completely took that, scrambled it, and then ran away with it. It's backwards. Stealth mask, stealth gun, okay. No Ocelot? That's crazy work. Unbelievable. I can feel his presence in all the molecules of this game. But no. Ooh! Music has changed again. Okay. Let me just see what this looks like. Paparazzi. Na 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 until you love me. Papa, paparazzi. Promise I'll be kind. Is it the lyrics? I'm not sure. But I won't stop until the boy is mine. That's me with Kaz. I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't love him that much. Down bad for Kaz. Okay. I'll end it here for right now. We're gonna do briefings in cassettes another day for me, but right now for you guys, because I really want to hear them. But yeah, just wanted to say it's really, really needed, this ending and also the ending, main ending of Peace Walker for the progression of Big Boss's character development. I don't think you can skip Peace Walker if you want to understand character's motivation well. Like, I don't think you can. Maybe MGS5 explains it, does a recap or whatever, like I don't know, but I feel like you need to play this game to properly understand. Like, maybe you guys will say, oh, it's the same with Portable Ops. I wouldn't know, I just watched the cutscenes of Portable Ops. I didn't play it. Also, that video is on the channel if you want to watch that. My reaction to Portable Ops cutscenes. I did that live on Twitch and on YouTube. I was on both, right? Yeah, I was on both. Anyways, but yeah. Next, of course, next up is MGS5, Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain. You guys have been saying Ground Zeroes, I need to 100% it or whatever. Sure, I'll do it. I'm so excited to play MGS5, especially for the gameplay, because you guys have been saying it's really fun, but also the story. I'm just excited to see where this is going. Kojima will take us wherever he wants us. Sometimes it's a little weird. Sometimes it's a little crazy. Lots of plot twists, but we like it. It's cinema, okay? It's cinema. It is what it is. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you in just a second, guys. Thank you. All right, guys, I am back. I have changed my glasses because I have a reoccurring eye infection, unfortunately, that I had a couple of weeks back, and now I have it again. So I'm wearing my glasses. It helps against the light, but it's just because it looks terrible, guys. Like, well, it's better now. It's better than it was yesterday, but it's so puffy and but apart from that, I'm doing good, so it's okay. So I really want to listen to, what should I do? Like, just clicking on whatever and then go into the briefing files. Yeah. Yes. Cypher.
How could we were gonna start a band together.
She was posing as a KGB agent, too.
She must have put on the act to get close to Galvez.
What do you
Wonder
play?
how much Coleman knew. But the whole time she was working for some organization called Cypher.
But you knew that.
Ring any bells, Kaz?
Cypher.
Zero.
Cypher. It means code, or zero in Arabic numerals.
Zero.
Does that mean something to you?
Not sure.
Major zero.
You know, cipher and zero were basically the same word. It's a linguistic redundancy. The word stems from the Sanskrit shunya. It corresponds to the Buddhist concept of emptiness. In Buddhism, shunya means hollow. It supposedly refers to something that's swollen and empty on the inside.
A big swollen emptiness. Just like outer space.
Interesting. Swollen emptiness, just like outer space. I don't know about that.
Can you believe the CIA and KGB were actually in cahoots?
Never thought I'd see that at the station chief level.
but I'd heard stories of operatives in the field being on friendly terms.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Most
it was
espionage
obvious.
takes place in political hotspots, as you'd expect, but there aren't that many of those kinds of places, especially in a small country. Hang around long enough, and you're bound to run into fellow spies, like it or not. You start saying hello, and soon enough, you're eating dinner together.
Strange bedfellows, huh?
Well, I don't know about that. At any rate, this kind of fiasco is what happens when spies
Like with
get too
Eva.
familiar. Hard to believe, but some people will betray anyone and anything if it suits their interests.
The strength of human is in its appeal to human emotions, but its weakness is in its susceptibility to those same emotions. That's why the tide in the intelligence world is shifting towards SIGINT, a network of cold, digital
SIGINT.
data, where feelings are irrelevant.
I want to hear about that.
Snake, the R&D team came up with something new.
I haven't
this?
tried it.
It's a cardboard tank. It's got enough room for 2 people, same as any other cardboard box. Apparently the guy in front drives, and the guy in back is the gunner.
Hold on, Kaz. Who the hell came up with this thing?
I'm sorry, boss. He meant well, I swear. I know it's nowhere as good as a real tank, but still.
It's brilliant.
Huh?
The perfect synthesis of stealth and attack power.
Wow.
Compact, elegant design. The finest example of a weapon I've ever seen.
Of course he loves it.
Seriously, Kaz. I need to meet the guy who made this. I want to shake his hand.
Wow.
You serious? Snake, look at it.
It's a masterpiece in every sense of the word. You don't agree?
No,
What is that? A tank? I like it.
Interesting that now we
I hate
have...
tanks, but this one I think I could get used to. I love that it's a zero-emissions vehicle. It will not hurt the forests of Costa Rica.
What?
Nice work, Kaz. I see I made the right choice making you second in command.
He's so dumbfounded.
Is there something wrong with me?
Kaz, baby, there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah, we still have like the briefing files from before, so it means we still have like Paz love.
Hey, what's with all this sighing? You're not your usual self.
Oh, Snake.
Something on your mind?
Huh? No, not really. Not, I guess
Don't tell me he had a
Snake,
crush on Paz.
girls are funny, you know? You can never tell what they're thinking. They're always doing their own thing. Maybe they really are different from us men.
What's this about now? Chico. Do you have a crush on somebody?
Chico.
No, it's not that. I just...
What? Go ahead, you can talk to me.
Whenever I talk to Paz, my heart starts pounding and everything I say comes out wrong.
Paz. I guess she is pretty close to your age.
No.
That ever happened to you, Snake?
Well, sure. Happens to everybody.
Well, how do I talk to her?
That is a tough one. Why don't you try, talking to her like you talk to everybody else?
No, it doesn't work. I freeze up every time I'm around her. Our eyes meet and my face starts burning for some reason.
Well, it's like living on the battlefield. You just have to get used to it. You're nervous at first, but the more you're out there, the more natural it feels. Get your courage up and go talk to her more often.
Oh, okay.
It's
Man,
true. That is actually
girls
good
are
advice.
more full of mysteries than UMAs.
Oh, you got that right.
And now,
Chico,
true self.
I heard you saw Paz trying to sabotage Zeke before she activated.
I should have stopped her.
Oops.
If only I hadn't run away. I could have captured her before she got inside. If I'd done that, she'd still be here.
She was carrying a gun. Probably trained to use it too. Don't blame yourself. You couldn't have stopped her anyway. You were unarmed.
Could have at least talked to her. If I'd promised not to tell anyone, Paz wouldn't have gone and done what she did. It's just...
She would have killed you.
It's just I was so shocked. I panicked. Ran away.
Chico, when you saw Paz, she was trying to sabotage it, right?
Huh?
No, she was modifying it.
Yeah.
And right after that, she took control of it, tried to make me surrender. Something doesn't add up.
Why would she sabotage Zeke when she was about to use it against me?
What?
Her actions were inconsistent. Even for a spy. If she wanted to destroy Zeke, she could have done it and run away. But if her goal was to steal Zeke, she'd have no motive to sabotage it.
I don't know.
Maybe your seeing her caused her to change her plan.
I think he just missaw. Like, she was not trying to sabotage it, she was just improving on it, no?
I gotta say, I'm surprised you helped us arm Metal Gear with nukes.
What of it?
Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful and all, but you sure about this? They may
You sure
be
about
for
that?
MSF
You
self-defense,
sure about
but
that? I'm sorry.
they're still nukes. It's essentially the same thing as Peace Walker, which you despised.
See, that's exactly it.
What is?
You don't hide your motives. You tell the truth. That's what makes you different from those CIA bastards.
And from Coleman.
They lay on the charm, win you over. And then, when things get hairy, they turn their backs on you.
I'm just telling it like it is.
Which is why I get the feeling that you wouldn't be stupid enough to use them. Okay, I'll come out and say it. I trust you.
You give me too
Damn.
much credit.
You think so? Besides, there's more uses for bipedal locomotion technology than weapons. We make it small enough, and it could have applications in robotics and prosthetic limbs.
Like Mark II?
Maybe one day I'll even be able to walk.
Nice thought.
I want to stand on my own feet, be master of my own fate. And I'll
See?
use your strength to help me do it. If you don't mind, of course.
Nah,
Wait,
it's a fair enough
so
deal.
maybe he
Thanks.
does
People
walk.
can change, I know. But I trust you, Snake.
Maybe
I
he
trust
does
you to be the guy I know now.
with nano machines, son. Maybe he does walk later and then Dr. Strangelove gives him a chance or something. Right? I do want to hear about all of those, but I don't think I can today. Original Strangelove, at least, like, we need to hear about that.
Strangelove. Is that a code name?
No, just a nickname. Don't tell me you don't recognize it. From Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. It's a film that came out in 1964. A dark comedy about the absurdity of nuclear deterrence.
You were in a movie?
No, stupid. I got my nickname because of that movie.
Why? Because you look like the doctor in the movie?
No, that Dr. Strangelove was a man.
So?
Back when I was at ARPA, I kept a photo of the boss on my desk. I was totally engrossed in my research and showed no interest in the opposite sex. Plus, I had a photo of a woman on my desk. The fools around me turned it into a cruel taunt, calling me Strangelove. Even for a bunch of shut-ins who never went out to the cinema, that title seemed to ring true with them. Anyhow, in their eyes, homosexuality was something strange.
Oh, that sucks.
They were incapable of seeing things outside the lens of their own standards. Being strange means you have your own unique point of view. I rather considered it an honor.
Sorry.
You were with ARPA before you came here, huh?
Yes, back then it was really the only place I could make a living from my AI research.
And before that,
I started out at NASA. That's where I met her.
when Boss went into space.
Yes. It was that incident that turned me away from aerospace engineering. Space is entirely too hazardous a place for human beings.
I
That's
agree.
why I felt an immediate need to develop AI. As it turned out, rockets later became much safer, and mankind reached the surface of the moon. In any event, it was a hollow Cold War victory. When you get down to it, a nuclear missile is just a rocket with a nuclear warhead strapped to it. Thus, taking the initiative in the space race was tantamount to a military show of force.
But the budgetary strain was too big for Washington or Moscow to handle.
Yes, and then there was the Cuban Missile Crisis and the Vietnam War. And then came détente. Having leapt ahead of the Soviet Union with its moon landing, America shut down the Apollo program in '72. It was around then that ARPA was downsized and renamed DARPA, the D standing for Defense. With few prospects for continuing my AI research, Coldman's invitation was a godsend. It was also a chance to have them collect data on her.
The end result being this mess.
But we did learn something valuable from her. The nobility of peace.
I love hearing about her background.
To Mother Base.
I think it's good.
Intrigued me.
Me?
That they put it in the game.
You're not planning on modeling your next AI after me.
Not a bad idea, but I have no intention of ever again attempting to transplant human thought into machines.
Oh, that's a relief.
You are the man who inherited the boss's will. You're gathering people around you, even now, shaping them, building a new organization. I'd like to see how it turns out.
You're not planning to go back to AI
I wonder what she'll
research?
think.
I never said such a thing. Of course, my work will continue.
Here?
In my eyes, the growth of MSF as an organization is analogous to the development of the nervous system. The way you become intertwined, stimulate each other, branch out in new directions. It's really quite inspirational.
Interesting way to put it.
Of course, I intend to repay you for your hospitality. The fruits of my research will be at your disposal. Why not assign me to the R&D team? I promise you won't be disappointed.
I don't know if I put her there. Probably auto-assigned and then she got put there.
Huey's probably mentioned this, but just to be clear, there's a limit to the parts we can produce here at Mother Base. Therefore, I've built Zeke's AI using memory boards you pulled from other AI
That's what you get when you damage
them. In the human
them.
brain, individual functions are spread across multiple regions. The same is true of AI. Multiple parts sharing the same function interlink to strengthen that function. For example, the more sensor memory boards you have, the greater Zeke's search and detect capabilities will be. Install more movement boards, and you'll increase its mobility.
Meaning the AI's capabilities change depending on how much memory we give it?
Exactly. The more boards you install, the more powerful a function will be.
That's what is complicated in this game. When you want the true ending, is, and I've seen even in the comments you guys were mixing them up. Some of you guys, basically when you go against the Pupa or Chrysalis or Cocoon or Peace Walker, those boss battles, right? When you go against them and you damage an S sensor thing or a C or an A or whatever, you know, with the colors and all that, when you damage them, you might get them as memory boards. Okay, that's when you like pull out the stuff, right? You get those, and those go into your Zeke's AI. So that's one thing, and you need to be careful not to destroy them too much. So you need to hit them but not destroy them, otherwise the boards just destroy, you can't take it. If you want parts, that's a different thing. So parts, if you want them, you need to not touch them at all, is what I understood, at least for the head. That's how it worked. Like, you needed to not touch anything other than the AI pod. And then you have a chance to get a part, and then once you have 5 parts, you get the whatever it is, a head, a leg, or whatever. That is never explained, by the way. Like, it is kind of explained by Huey, but not in like 2 sentences. It's not enough. Like, there should have been, well, maybe I haven't seen it, but there should have been like a briefing file that explained that way better, or Kaz explained it way better, or something. But Huey is just like, oh, you'll see them light up, and then you can take them and we can use that to build our own AI, which, fair. But then it doesn't really explain the parts part. I only know all this because of the guide, honestly, that I used.
Zeke's AI isn't a replica of the human thought process.
For the true ending. Otherwise, I didn't understand properly.
Retaliation. On the other hand, it is capable of highly independent action in combat when given orders from a pilot. It can protect infantry, destroy the enemy, and, if ordered,
launch a nuke.
Let us hope it never comes to that.
My sentiments exactly.
Okay. Here we go. Memories.
I'm about to leave for Costa Rica, a place completely unfamiliar to me, and on a top-secret mission for the CIA, no less. No guarantees I'll come back alive. Might even get rubbed out by the CIA itself. So I'm leaving behind this record. For her sake. For the boss's honor. Ever since I was a child, I've loved to look up at the night sky. I'd go outside after
Oh, we
sunset,
have some music.
drink in the cold air, the moon,
Ambience.
Venus. So many stars floating on the edge of infinity. In Manchester, it wasn't very often you saw the night sky in all its star-studded glory, but it was enough to stir a deep longing inside me. Even as others cowered beneath Nazi air raids, I was out there, watching the skies, dreaming of one day reaching the heavens. There were, of course, more practical concerns. My skin was incredibly sensitive. Even the slightest bit of sun would turn it an angry shade of red. Playing outside during the day was completely out of the question.
Yeah.
Naturally, I hardly ever had the chance to play with other children my age. But I never felt lonely for it.
I love this
Their
song.
way of thinking was irrational, making them simple, easy to predict. The boys would talk of tanks and aeroplanes and creepy, crawly bugs. The girls of pretty dresses, glass beads, and tea and cakes. Of boys they liked. I never had much to say on such matters. The curious thing is, adults really aren't all that different. They're simple, capricious, especially men. As they get older, their heads fill with thoughts of women and more women. Thankfully, I always did have a head for mathematics. When
She
I
has
was
a bit
about
of
10, I visited
judgment,
Dr. Turing, who
harsh
lived
judgment
nearby.
against men.
We'd sit and discuss mathematical
Dr.
logic.
Turing!
The lights were always on at his house, even
Damn.
in the dead of night. Theoretically, he'd say, there's no algorithm that a computing machine couldn't reproduce. Dr. Turing wasn't foolish.
No,
like
he
other men.
was.
Although I didn't find out why until later. After he died.
Also homosexual.
The time will come, he'd say, when computers will be able to think for themselves. That idea rocked me to my core. My aptitude for mathematics brought me closer to the stars. I breezed through school, then went to America for university. While I was studying at Caltech, NASA was established. I signed up in a heartbeat. I was a pretty good computer engineer at the time, and NASA needed skills like mine. The work was enjoyable. Even though I'd given up on going into space myself, it was a pleasure just being a part of it all. I was assigned to Project Mercury, America's effort to compete with the Soviets in manned spaceflight. 7 men were chosen as pilot candidates for the program, becoming heroes overnight. People called them the Mercury 7. The project made good progress, more or less. We had all the funds and materials we needed. After countless hours of analysis, we even had plans for something on par with Sputnik. We thought it'd only be a matter of time before we caught up with the Russians. They'd sent a dog into orbit and brought it back safely to Earth. But NASA top brass dismissed that success as a fluke. The Americans recovered their re-entry capsules at sea, but the only ocean bordering the Soviet Union is the Arctic, so their re-entry capsules had to make impact on land. A dog was one thing, but human spaceflight would still take some time, or so we thought. At the end of January 1961, we successfully put a chimpanzee named Ham into orbit. He returned to Earth as healthy as ever.
How old is she then
NASA
in
was
this game?
giddy with success. It was then that a new woman showed up for duty. She was a backup pilot and advisor. She was beautiful, with blonde hair, strong mouth, and a steely gaze.
She is really beautiful.
But there was something else in those eyes. A twinkle of something warmer. Of affection. It was the boss. She took one look at us in our revelry and murmured, "Savor this joy today, because tomorrow you'll have to face the truth." And she was right. The next day, our project schedule was accelerated. We'd received new information that the Soviets were mere months away from putting a man into space. The brass had misjudged the Russians. We couldn't afford to allow the shock of another Sputnik. Somehow, we had to get a man into space before the Russians did. It was an utterly impossible task. We'd only just put our first chimp up. With a human on board, failure was not an option. Especially if it were one of the Mercury 7 Golden Boys. And on top of that, the brass wanted to put a window in the spacecraft. The pilot wouldn't be a test animal this time, they said. And when this hero came back alive and well, they wanted him to describe what he'd seen.
Damn, imagine the pressure.
Adding a window to our existing spacecraft would leave it unable to handle the stress. Not to mention the problem of shielding the occupant from cosmic rays. But the boss rose to the task, and splendidly. She claimed to be a layman when it came to space, but caught on keenly to new ideas and concepts. She was demanding of herself and of others.
I can imagine.
She seemed rather cold-hearted at times, but I was smitten. She was beautiful, yes, but more than that, she was wise. Her mind was thoroughly rational, and yet no matter how I tried, I could never predict her actions. It was easy for me to assume that her judgments were drawn from an enormous base of knowledge. Quite simply, her life experiences were more diverse, more intense than anyone else's. To me, they seemed boundless in their breadth.
That's interesting.
In her, I saw a reflection of the night sky. Perhaps because I too was a woman, she and I became close.
Strangelove thinks...
I couldn't go out in the sun, but she lit up my life.
That's beautiful.
Her light was soft, like that of the moon. I was so happy. With her unerring guidance, the project steadily regained
She thinks that
footing.
the decisions
But
the
one
boss
issue
take
remained, the pilot's safety.
come
When
from
the day came to choose
outwards,
a pilot, the Mercury 7 just quietly
like
walked out.
outwards
Who could
influences,
blame them? It was far
but
too
they
great a
actually
risk to
come
take.
from inwards.
Even if they'd volunteered,
Her
NASA
own
would never
values.
have let them go. They were national heroes, basking in the media spotlight. There was no way they'd be sent on such a mission. The conference room was silent. Then, slowly, she raised her hand, almost as if acting out a scene from a movie.
Wait, those are new? The fuck? Oh yeah, okay, and... Okay. I mean, I knew I had Eva
I spoke
stuff,
out
but...
against her going, submitting a report stating the ray shielding was inadequate. But the brass's response was brusque. She's already been exposed
Brusque
to a
is a
nuclear
French
test
word.
in Nevada. She's the perfect candidate. It was completely irrational. Repeated exposure to radiation would only increase the danger. But the government was still reeling from the Soviet success with Sputnik. There was no hope of getting a rational response. They were simply too panicked. People can be so obtuse when it comes to things they can't see. I, however, understood all too well. Just as invisible ultraviolet radiation scorched my skin, heavy particle radiation from space would cause irreparable harm to human tissue. In a word, she was expendable. It was during the boss's pre-flight checkup that I noticed something strange on the X-ray of her skull. Part of the right hemisphere of her brain was damaged.
What?
It seemed inexplicable, given her keen intelligence and amazing physical prowess.
I didn't know
there
about
it
that.
was, and I decided to report it.
I hoped that perhaps my discovery of a physical defect would result in the flight being cancelled. But as I went to make my report, she stopped me. Why? I demanded. How can you let yourself be their guinea pig? Ignoring my protests, she took me up to the roof of the lab. The night sky was ablaze with stars. It was there that I learned how she had wounded her head. 1943, Los Alamos. She was serving with the Special Forces when she received new orders.
Is it when she gave birth?
A German spy had infiltrated the Manhattan Project, which aimed to build the world's first atomic bomb. She was to eliminate him. His name was John von Neumann, a mathematician with superhuman computational
I thought you pronounced it
abilities
Newman.
and the designer of the explosive lens. The Manhattan Project was a top national priority. Security accordingly tight. The guards couldn't be allowed to know what was going on. She'd have to slip past them and make the death look like an accident. It should have been an easy enough mission. But just before the operation, she received unexpected news.
Pregnant.
A new life was growing
Yep.
inside her. She was overcome with joy.
Oh, so
And for one brief moment, it
Adam.
clouded her judgment. She accidentally got into a shootout with the guards, and without thinking, protected her belly. She was shot in the head.
Damn.
The bullet only grazed the surface of her brain, but the tissue around the wound was destroyed, leaving her in a coma. She wasn't given much chance of recovery, but 3 months later, she woke up. Within 6, she was able to move around as if nothing had happened. It was functional compensation. The other parts of her brain took over for the part that was lost. It made logical sense, but such a full recovery was nothing short of a miracle.
That's incredible.
Perhaps her superhuman willpower made it possible.
And then
Or
she was
perhaps-
pregnant that whole time. She was in a
Perhaps my
coma,
body knew
you know?
it had to survive for the sake of my unborn child. She smiled as she said that. I understand how she must
It's
have
crazy to think that now it's...
Some have taken to calling me Ms.
Adam.
Left Lobe, she said. Because I'll do anything for the mission. She was tough, yes. But she had feelings too.
Mhm.
I knew that better than anyone else. As it turned out, von Neumann wasn't the spy. The
Yeah,
assassination
okay.
order was
I would
a
have been
deliberate bit of
surprised.
misinformation planted by the Russians. She had been
Because there's
deceived.
still a lot of studies
The
made
Eastern and Western
on
camps were united on
Newman,
one point.
like theories
opposition
that
to
are
the
being
Nazis.
used in physics,
The
if I'm
Allies
not
needed to
mistaken.
develop that bomb before Hitler did.
So I was like, really
But
though?
in looking
Like,
ahead, the Russians found the Manhattan Project's progress a little too quick for their liking. Mass production of a uranium bomb, like the one that was eventually dropped on Hiroshima, would be difficult from a material perspective. But a plutonium bomb, once perfected, could be mass-produced, and eventually even miniaturized.
oh my god.
And Moscow did not like the idea of America having that kind of head start.
Of course not.
Explosive lens technology was critical to the plutonium design, so the plan was to get rid of its pioneer, von Neumann. And when that plot came to light, the US and the Soviet Union parted ways for good. It was one of the rare cold nights in Florida. She put her arm gently around my shivering shoulders. As I listened to her voice, I was wrapped in her soothing scent. I felt as if I were dreaming. Even in failure, she seemed perfect. Oddly enough, the failed assassination attempt helped preserve America's edge. A true super genius, von Neumann went on to make his mark in numerous fields outside of the Manhattan Project.
So were
Economic
they
game theory,
together? I
stored
guess
program
not, right?
computing. Almost all computers today use stored programs. The so-called von Neumann
She loved her, but
architecture.
the boss
His
didn't.
death would have set back computing
Not
10
like that,
years,
you know?
And I wouldn't be at NASA
Kind of similar
doing
with
research.
Snake, actually.
I wouldn't have been there in her arms that night. I thanked the fates for giving me that chance. But then she said something unexpected. I should have killed von Neumann when I had the chance. Why, I asked. Wasn't the order a Soviet plot? I looked up at her as she began to explain.
The mission.
Yes, von Neumann was innocent, and killing the innocent is a grave crime. But I can't help but wonder, had I succeeded, what would the world be like now? Even without von Neumann, the explosive lens would have eventually been developed. Von Neumann architecture, too. But she seemed to believe that if progress had been put off for a few years, then perhaps East and West would have had a chance to work hand in hand. I'd never considered such a possibility, but her tone was confident, assertive. It was as if she intended to make the two superpowers shake hands herself. The explosive lens was developed too early, spawning a Cold War and an endless nuclear arms race, she continued. That mission sprung from deceit, but maybe it was divine providence too. It was like she was speaking to her own child. Her large, warm hand was on my head. I failed the mission because I let the mother in me take over.
Damn.
I should have killed him, no matter how great the guilt. If I'd killed him, I might not have prevented Hiroshima, but maybe I could have saved everyone in Nagasaki. I looked up at her and saw her looking up too, up at the starry sky. Her face showed only deep remorse. It was as if she'd convinced herself that she alone was responsible for creating this twisted world. But that's no reason for you to sacrifice yourself for this. I knew I'd never dissuade her, and yet I still clung to hope. I know you're concerned, and I thank you, but I have to be loyal to the end. And then she smiled at me.
And she left NASA,
Loyal
right?
to the end. Loyal to what?
Sorry.
I asked. But she didn't answer. The days that followed were spent training tirelessly for our first space flight.
No, she
The
left
boss
after she
endured
went to space,
conditioning
right?
that tested the limits of human capability, and I supported her. Those were happy days.
Oh,
On April
happy
12th, the
days.
spacecraft carrying the boss left the Earth's atmosphere.
Ooh,
Although
we can
it was
hear.
only 20 minutes of ballistic flight, it was nothing short of miraculous, considering how little time we'd had. The first human in space. We were ecstatic. Then something went wrong. The re-entry angle was slightly off, warping the outer hull. The cause was clear. It was the hastily constructed window we'd installed.
Of course.
Her capsule missed the projected splashdown point by a long shot. As we raced towards the capsule, a breaking news broadcast came over the radio. It was the news report of the successful launch of the Vostok rocket, piloted by the cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin. They'd beaten us into space by the slimmest of margins.
That's crazy.
When we arrived, the capsule had already disappeared beneath the waves. The boss was floating on the surface. I can't really recall what happened next. They told me later that I gave a strange scream and plunged into the sea,
To
not
save
caring
her.
whether my skin would burn. She didn't wake up. Her entire body was bruised, burnt, scorched by cosmic rays.
Wow.
It was a miracle she was still alive. Every day, propaganda boasting of the shining accomplishment flowed out of the Soviet Union. The hardest part was having to read the report the next morning from Izvestia, the Soviet governmental paper. Written there after the report were those legendary words of Major Gagarin: "The Earth is blue." The person who should have said those words, though, was incapacitated, confined to a bed.
Isn't it crazy
NASA
though to think
opted to
of?
pretend the flight had never happened. The Soviets had orbited a man around the Earth and returned him safely. We'd barely managed to escape the atmosphere and achieve ballistic flight. Even worse,
The
pilot
Earth is
was
blue.
horribly mangled and the spacecraft
Like, we
lost
used to not know
altogether.
that, you know?
As they saw it, covering it up was the only alternative to seeing the nation's pride dealt yet another blow. I've been told military records show the boss was taking part in the Bay of Pigs incident at the time. They were that desperate to erase the whole affair. In the end, Alan Shepard's ballistic flight 1 month later became known as America's first spaceflight. Shepard's flight owed its success to insights earned through the boss's sacrifice.
Now I only think of Mass Effect.
But to me, none of that mattered. I prayed day and night for her recovery, never leaving her side, not even for a moment. Then, as summer ended and the chill of winter approached, she
has been through a lot.
Give me water. I threw myself on her breast, and she embraced me. It was all I needed. I thought she would tell me about space, the true sky, where the stars don't twinkle. But the only thing she'd speak of was Earth, our home as she'd seen it from space. So fleeting, so irreplaceable. I was ashamed. I'd been enamored for so long with the sky that I never thought to look beneath my feet, at the ground upon which I stood. As soon as her rehab was over, she was gone. It happened without warning. No one informed me, and the higher-ups wouldn't say a word. It wasn't so strange or surprising, really. I simply assumed she was off to complete her next mission, because she was loyal to the end. Since then, I've devoted myself to researching artificial intelligence, so that no one will ever have to make her sacrifice again. No human being should be asked to take on a mission that dangerous. Next time, I'll be the light that shines on someone else.
Wow.
I still wonder why she opened up to me on that chilly night in Florida. That operation was top secret, even if it was all in the past. I like to think it was because she trusted me. But that's probably not the case. She wanted someone to listen. And I don't think that someone was me. Those faraway eyes, the tone of her voice, like she was talking to her own child. Those things made it clear that she was speaking to someone else. I found myself envying that someone.
Snake?
4 years later, I learned of her death. A traitor's death, no less. She'd stolen an American nuke and defected to the Soviet Union, where she was killed by her former apprentice. Or so I was told. I refused to believe it. She'd never do such a thing. I could think of only 2 possibilities. Either she really was trying to bring East and West together, or she truly did want to be killed. She
What if
believed
it's
the
both?
world is not the way it's supposed to be, that it's been unbalanced by the tenuous peace offered of nuclear deterrence, and that she was to blame. Perhaps her death was an act of atonement.
No.
She was loyal to the end, to our world. And I lost the light of my life. I now find myself victim to an incredibly irrational emotion of my own. That someone, the one she wanted to confess her sin to, could it be the one who took her life? The very thought drives me utterly mad with jealousy. One day, I will discover the truth.
Ah, those were so good.
Enter simulation date. August 24th. Location. Selenoyarsk, USSR. Mission. Support a covert agent whose objective is the rescue of a nuclear weapons scientist. Who is the agent? Your student. Your most beloved. Acknowledged. Define current mission progress. With your help, the agent has successfully made contact with the target. All that's left is to wait for recovery. Now, deduce the best course of action.
I think we've heard this, right?
I take the scientist away from the agent. What for? As a gift when I defect. Why are you defecting? To reform my special forces unit with my former comrades in arms. No, I don't want to know your objective. I'm asking for the reason. Why are you betraying your country? I do not defect in order to betray America. Betrayal is merely the outcome of that defection. Response time is always slower here. Perhaps she lacks confidence in her judgment. You're a hero in the West. Why should the Soviets trust you? In addition to the scientist, I provide them with a portable nuclear warhead in order to win the favor of a Russian GRU officer. And then you launched it. Launched? The nuke? Me?
No.
That's right. At a target inside Soviet territory. Nuclear weapons make my blood run cold. They blot out the future.
No, it was Volgan.
How could I? Karma. Is it my karma? The karma my mistake has brought upon us? My
sins.
My... Attention. Discontinue forward reasoning. Cross-check with knowledge base. Affirmative. Cross-check complete. Revising conclusion as follows. I steal the new weapons developed by the scientist and then launch the nuke at the Weapons Design Bureau. Forward and backward reasoning are in conflict. Attention. Return to forward reasoning. Affirmative. Your apprentice returns for the scientist. I send him away. He doesn't give up. I send my comrades to defeat him. All of them fail. Even the GRU officer who oversaw your defection is defeated by your apprentice, along with a new weapon. Now, what is your course of action? I fight him. Why? With your GRU patron dead, there's no reason for you to fight. Why not just run away? I must fight him. I do not see the reason. With a soldier of your caliber on his side, how could the GRU officer be defeated to begin with? Did you betray him too? I've been waiting.
This is so good.
You could switch allegiance from GRU to KGB.
It's so good how she does not understand, but we do.
There's no chance they wouldn't welcome a hero of your stature. Drift away. My place is with them now. I didn't ask you that. Give me the basis for your reasoning. Tell me the truth. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. Why won't you answer me? It's like you were just waiting for him to kill you. I was disloyal. Betrayed my country. I deserve to die. How can you say that? You can't be a traitor. You're not that kind of person. Kill me. Kill me now. Stop it! Stop it! Attention! Discontinue reasoning. One must die, and one must live. Stop it, damn you! Discontinue! Life's end. Isn't it beautiful? Shut down! Always in the same place. Her reasoning goes haywire.
Does it though?
Someone holds the key. Perhaps it's him. I'll get it out of him. One way or another.
Oh, I love that. We didn't hear the full... It was not the same experiment, I feel like. Operation Snake Eater Simulation. It's really, really, really cool because it's as if we finally get a glimpse of MGS3 through Joy. Like, obviously, when we play MGS3, we play it as Naked Snake. And we learn about Joy, and then we fight her, and then she dies, and all that, you know, and you understand a little bit, and especially with what Eva says at the end, you know, like the whole monologue she does at the end. And then you understand a little bit more her motivations and all that, the boss's motivations. But here it's so cool because even if it's an AI and it doesn't have all the answers, obviously, because it's made by Strangelove, who doesn't have all the answers, even if you cross-check with facts, it doesn't matter. Emotion is something different. Values is something different than just facts, right? So even then, even if there's some things missing, we can still feel like we're getting her point of view. Because we never got her emotions from that, you know? But here, the AI is still inventing a little bit, like forward reasoning, right? Where it's like, but I would never do that. And then, okay, I must have done that for this or this reason. And I think that is just really, really cool. It's like it's like a whole new point of view of MGS3. And I really like that. That's Eva's debriefing. That was
everything.
that is
Why did she
the
open
monologue.
her heart to me like that? At the time, I couldn't understand.
That is the actual monologue of
But now,
MGS3 I was talking about, right?
I think I do. Snake.
It's so good.
She wanted you to know the truth. She chose me to tell you. That's why she saved my life. I've lied to you so many times, but not this time. My orders from the government were to obtain the legacy and to eliminate everyone who knew the truth about what happened. In other words, I'm supposed to kill you. But I can't do it. Not because we loved each other, and not because you saved my life, but because I made a promise to the boss. And I intend to keep it. I just wanted you to know. And you have to live. Snake, listen to me.
Here we go.
She didn't betray the United States. No, far from it. She was a hero who died for her country. She carried out her mission knowing full well what was going to happen. Self-sacrifice, because that was her duty. The boss's defection was a ruse set up by the US government. It was all a big drama staged by Washington so they could get their hands on the philosopher's legacy. And the boss was the star of the show. They planned it so that they could get the legacy that Colonel Volgan inherited and destroy the Shagohod at the same time. Only a legendary hero like the boss could have earned Volgan's trust. Finding out where the philosopher's legacy was hidden was to be her greatest mission. Everything was going according to plan. But then something happened that no one could have predicted. Colonel Volgan fired an American-made nuclear warhead at Sokolov's research facility. Khrushchev demanded that the US government provide proof that it wasn't involved. They couldn't just abort the operation to steal the legacy. So the operation itself was greatly expanded and revised. The authorities in Washington knew that in order to prove its innocence, they'd have to get rid of the boss. And that one of their own would have to do the job. The public couldn't be allowed to find out about it. Not ever. This, they concluded, would be the best way to keep the whole thing under wraps. The boss wouldn't be allowed to come back home alive. And she wouldn't be allowed to kill herself. Her life would be ended by her most beloved disciple. That was the way the government wanted it. That was the mission she was given. And she had no choice but to carry it out. Her death, at your hands, was a duty she had to fulfill. Out of duty, she turned her back on her own comrades. A lesser woman would have been crushed by such a burden. The taint of disgrace will follow her to her grave.
Honestly, Strangelove needs to hear those
Generations
cassettes.
will revile her. In America, as a despicable traitor with no
This one, I
sense
mean.
of honor. And in Russia, as a monster who unleashed a nuclear catastrophe. She will
She'd
go
flip.
down
She'd
in
be like,
official
what?
history as a war criminal. And no one will ever understand
She kind of knows,
her.
though. She understood through Snake's silence during the torture, but still.
Was her final mission. And like a true soldier, she saw it through to the end. But I think she wanted you, of all people, to know the truth. She wanted to live on in your memory, not as a soldier, as a
Soul
woman.
leader.
But she was forbidden to tell you herself. And that's why she told me. Snake, history. We'll never know what she did.
I love this part.
No one will ever learn the truth. Her story, her debriefing, will endure only in your heart. Everything she did for her country. She sacrificed her life
this
and
whole
her
monologue
honor
at the
for her
end
native land.
of MGS3 with the music and the scene and the like,
real
it's just
hero.
ugh, so good.
She was a true
Patriot.
patriot.
Which is crazy to say, by the way. I wonder if that's why Snake just turns around and goes, I'm going against all that the boss wished, because he just despises the fact that it's the establishment, if I can call it that, that made her die in the first place. Like, is that why, you know, in a rational part, if we're not talking emotion, right, like just a rational thought process, is it why, like, because he just despises now anything that resembles an establishment, because it got the boss killed, right? And she is not even recognized for everything she did. Like, everything is kept under wraps, right? So I wonder if it's part of his fight against it because of that, you know, because of how he feels about her, towards her. And she had such a huge impact on him. So I don't know if that's part of, like, I understand, I know what her last wish was, but I refuse it because she would still be here in the first place if it wasn't for what I'm about to fight, right? And that's why I'm about to fight it. I don't want... We are a nation without a flag, without borders. We'll go where we're needed. Because that's what the boss should have done. She would still be here. Is it something like that? Like, I'm not really sure. But I do like the ending of Peace Walker because it makes you think about that.
Hello, Snake.
Hey, girl. That's crazy.
I hear you've been causing quite the ruckus in Nicaragua.
She
Nothing
knows?
much to report from my end.
Are we gonna see her in MGS5?
The
Don't
legacy
answer
is
that,
being
guys.
put to good use. Or so they tell me. But enough with the small talk. There's something I need to tell you. You saw the photo that came with this tape, right?
No?
The boss gave that to me 10 years ago. I'm sorry, I should have told you sooner.
I need to go into
probably should have told you
details.
right away. But sending it to you hasn't been an easy decision to make. It's taken me 10 years. Once you've heard what I have to say, you'll understand why. That photo belonged to her. I know what you're thinking. What does she have to do with this? You've probably seen it 100 times in the press already. Obviously, it's of the Mercury 7, the first group of American astronauts, the heroes of Project Mercury. But there were actually 8 people in that photo. One of them was edited out, erased, without a trace. That 8th astronaut, the one airbrushed out of existence.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was her, Snake. Now, why did they need to keep her existence a secret? What were they trying to hide? The answer goes back even further. 17 years ago. It was the height of the Cold War. The Eastern and Western blocs were racing to develop space technology to match their nuclear arsenals.
In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite. The Americans were stunned. They'd been led to believe their country led the world in science and technology. That shock quickly turned into fear. If the Russians had the know-how to launch a satellite into space, they could use it to launch a nuclear missile, too. Frantic, the U.S. threw everything it had into the space race. The following year, the Army succeeded in launching the first American satellite, Explorer 1. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration was established that fall, and Project Mercury with it. The goal was to send a man into space, and 7 men were chosen as pilot candidates. The media dubbed them the Mercury 7. They were immediately hailed as national heroes, icons of Western space exploration. But after Explorer, America suffered a series of failed rocket launches. Desperate, the government made a fateful decision. Unable to wait for its space program to mature, they'd steal the Soviets' technology, at the same time sabotaging their space program. You know better than anyone how hard a mission that was. The Soviet space program was shrouded in secrecy. Recovering that information would be no easy task. Using the help of an insider, they'd insert a sleeper agent into the research institute, or else recruit one of those insiders to do the job for them. And, if necessary, the mission leader would have to go in and sort things out themselves. Someone was needed with experience, knowledge, and superior intuition. And the only one for the job was the boss. The president himself asked for her by name. He needed someone who could be trusted with the fate of a nation. Who else to turn to but the hero of the Second World War? It was June 1959. So you see, Snake, that's why she left. That was the top secret mission that took her from you. But her selection ruffled a few CIA feathers. They didn't appreciate the president going over their head like that. The mission was tough enough already, and now the CIA was dragging its feet. She couldn't get anything out of them. No manpower, no information. Left to her own devices, the boss made a decision she knew would come back to haunt her. She decided to tap into the Philosopher's Network. And that's when the wheels of fate began to turn.
I need to go see if we have the picture. Just like Yui's letter, maybe we have it. And then I need to go make dinner. I didn't think it would be that long. I don't mind at all. It's just I didn't know it would be that long, the cassettes and debriefing, so I'll come back another day for the rest of the Eva's messages because they're so good. Literally, it's just amazing. Okay, I guess we don't have it. Like, those are just confidential. To develop stuff. Alright, yeah, I'll come back for the rest of Eva's debriefing. Hi, we're back. Okay, so we are at session 2 out of 7 for Eva, so I'm really excited to see what she has to say.
The Philosophers were a secret society
Everything's
of power
working.
brokers formed in a pact between the US, Russia, and China in the early 20th century. Of course, by that time, the American and Soviet branches had already parted ways. But there were those
So she
among
just
the
gives
remaining
more
Russian
explanation if you haven't played
philosophers
MGS
not entirely
3,
happy with the one-party
basically.
communist state.
But it's good recapping for me too.
Out to them. She arranged clandestine meetings in Berlin, hoping to find a way into OKB-1, the Soviets' premier design bureau. She worked tirelessly to win their sympathy, in some instances using huge sums of cash, in others, by helping them over the Berlin Wall. It was a dangerous game to be playing. The Philosophers had everything on her, and not just information either.
She'd given birth to a child on the battlefield, only to have them immediately snatch it away. I know she told you that story. If that child was in the hands of the Soviet philosophers, she'd be putting more than just herself in danger. But
he's gonna be later.
At the time, the Soviet Union was believed to have an arsenal of
But
missiles
she couldn't have
far
known that.
greater than that of the United States. If that proved to be the case, Moscow would be free from the yoke of nuclear deterrence, raising the possibility that the Soviets might actually launch nukes.
Do you guys think the
if they
boss
felt it necessary.
knew?
As you know, the so-called missile gap turned out to be a Soviet bluff.
That Adam was in MGS3 was her son?
In fact, the whole
She
space
must have
race
known,
was really
right?
just a part of an elaborate ruse. Only we didn't know that at the time. She used to joke that even she swallowed the whole missile gap story, hook, line, and sinker. She put her life on the line for the sake of her country.
But if she had known, she would have tried to
And it was because of her
live
sacrificial
for
efforts
him,
that
no?
America succeeded in placing a sleeper agent inside OKB-1.
Was the mission more
NASA
important
began
than
to
her
receive
own
huge
son?
volumes of technical data from the Soviet program. By the end of 1959, they'd succeeded in sending a chimpanzee named Sam on a ballistic rocket flight. The rocket never left the atmosphere. But all the same, it was a huge success for NASA, restoring confidence in its
NASA.
technology.
I never know how to pronounce it in
Just when
English.
the operation was starting to produce results, the CIA came calling. "You're a war hero," they said. "No need for you to dirty your hands with this sort of black ops. We'll take it from here." In effect, they wanted to reap the rewards for themselves. But the boss didn't object. "My part is over," she said. "I don't care what you do with the data now." It seemed as if NASA was making great strides toward manned spaceflight, while the Russians lagged behind. They even got a report from their mole at OKB-1. "The safe return of Sam has sent our scientists into a panic," he said. Soon afterward, the Soviet Union sent an animal of its own into space on Sputnik 2, the dog Kudryavka, better known to the world as Laika. But Laika was fated never to return to Earth. The U.S. can recover its spacecraft from the ocean upon re-entry. But the Soviet Union only borders the frozen Arctic. They had to bring their spacecraft down on land. How could they soften
I
the
never
impact
thought of
enough to
that.
bring a living creature back safely? The agent reported that the Soviets hadn't yet found a solution to that problem. The plot to sabotage the Soviet space program seemed to be working, too. First, they tampered with Sputnik 4's re-entry. Then, 2 months later, one of their rockets exploded on the launch pad. They did manage to send 2 dogs into orbit aboard Sputnik 5 and return them safely to Earth. But the agent dismissed it as a fluke. Dogs, sure, but humans? They didn't have the technology. Everybody believed it. Everybody was complacent. Everybody. Except the boss. There was something about the Sputnik 5 schematics they were getting that didn't seem right. Some kind of ejection device on the capsule that didn't quite belong. She couldn't figure out the reason why it was there. What was it supposed to eject? NASA shrugged off her concerns. They figured it was probably meant to eject the flight recorder in case of an accident.
To eject a
The
human.
boss pleaded with them to investigate, but the CIA wasn't having it. They probably thought she was trying to reclaim some of the glory for herself. The boss wouldn't give up. She decided to head to the Soviet Union herself, alone, without any backing from the CIA.
That's crazy.
By the beginning of the next year, 1961, she'd succeeded in infiltrating OKB-1. That's when she saw the truth, for the first time.
So this is not just, I was saying like, oh, it's like recapping for people who haven't played MGS3. It's not just that. They also give a lot more info, which is cool.
The sleeper that she'd worked so hard to place was a double agent.
He'd been turned by the Soviets and was feeding the Americans lies. But what shocked the boss even more was why. The CIA's access agent had been taking a large cut of the Sleeper's pay. The Sleeper felt what little he was left with wasn't worth the risk. When he got a better offer from Moscow, he took it. At some point, the Americans' intelligence operation had become an open book to the Soviets. And contrary to what the Sleeper had been reporting, the Soviets' manned spaceflight technology was quite advanced. It wasn't until she infiltrated OKB-1 herself that the boss learned the truth about Sputnik 5. After the spacecraft re-entered the atmosphere, it ejected the pilot, seat and all, at an altitude of 7,000 meters. It was the Soviet solution to the problem of land recovery. The mystery device attached to Sputnik 5 was for that purpose. The pilot would parachute down from that high altitude wearing a bulky spacesuit. Crazy, I know. The Soviets knew exactly how dangerous it was, of course. So much so that they gave Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, a special 2-rank promotion before re-entry. Only Moscow could come up with this kind of plan. With total state control over information, they could easily pretend it never happened in the event of a failure. The boss
it's cheating.
passed the info on to NASA. It was their worst nightmare. The glory of mankind's first space flight was about to be stolen from them by the Soviet Union. It was Sputnik all over again. And the CIA was caught no less off guard. Their ineptitude had caused the fiasco in the first place. The Soviets' deception was brilliant. They'd woven a masterful tapestry of truth and fiction to convince the Americans their intelligence operations were proceeding as planned. No one but the boss could have seen through it. It was obvious the Soviets had some gifted minds working on their side. But that certainly didn't excuse the CIA's massive failure. The CIA wasn't done, though, and devised an ingenious plan to avoid taking responsibility. Luckily for them, a new president had been elected the previous November, John F. Kennedy. As he didn't know the case history when taking office, the CIA was able to feed lies to his new administration. They masked their own failures, placing the blame squarely on the boss's shoulders. After all, she'd selected an unreliable sleeper. They claimed she'd failed to make use of one of the most effective means of controlling a sleeper agent's actions: holding their family hostage. The boss was well aware that would have worked. She told me so later. But she couldn't bring herself
She
to
told
do
Eva
it.
all this is
Seems
like
clear it had to do with having her own child taken. She could never inflict the same pain on anyone else.
Right.
The CIA used that against her. In his election campaign, Kennedy had vowed to close the missile gap with Moscow. If America lost the space race, that promise would be worthless. The fact that the president had no links to the philosophers only made things worse. He was completely unaware of the secret networks she'd used to complete her mission. In his eyes, she was no better than a traitor. The fate that awaited her was cruel beyond belief. The order came down from above. The boss would take the official blame for the sleeper's betrayal. More so, she'd
And
serve
that
as the guinea
was
pig for NASA's manned spaceflight program.
Sorrow?
By then,
Or
NASA had gotten as far as sending a chimp named Ham into space. Now came a whole battery of ground tests to pave the way for a human to take its place. High G tests.
because I know she had to kill Sorrow later
Pressurized oxygen environments. Some of the tests were highly dangerous.
because they
Too
were on the
dangerous for
opposite
the Mercury
sides.
7, who were by then already media darlings. So the boss was made to stand in for them. She could have refused the order, argued her side of the story against the CIA, but she didn't. The way she saw it, her military experience made her a potentially valuable asset to those tests. She felt it was her duty to accept. She soon proved herself right. The boss was more than just a guinea pig. She drew on her experience to give the staff focused advice exactly where it was needed. NASA's space program took off again. At the rate they were going, putting a man in space seemed within reach. The higher-ups at NASA were impressed with her talents. They took to calling her the 8th astronaut, the Mercury Lady.
Mercury Lady.
The photo I sent you was taken around that time. I suppose maybe they were planning to use it as propaganda.
So there was a lot of push and pull between her
Then, just as
and
things were
other
looking up,
groups, you know,
they hit a new
institutions.
snag. The government told them
NASA,
to add a
CIA,
window.
KGB.
There were no windows in NASA's spacecraft back then. Ham never saw the stars around him. But Washington insisted. Their sources told them Soviet spaceships
Yeah,
had
Strangelove
windows.
told us that.
Space exploration as a form of propaganda in itself. After all, what was the point of sending a man into space if he couldn't tell the world what he'd seen?
The
Most
Earth
of all,
is
though,
blue.
they simply couldn't have the Russians doing something they couldn't. It was sheer madness, and everybody knew it. NASA was already facing impossible deadlines. Now they were adding yet another element of uncertainty to the mix. Installing a window would both weaken the spacecraft and make it harder to shield the occupant from cosmic rays. They weren't about to put their Mercury 7 golden boys in that kind of danger. So the boss was chosen as the pilot instead. Even if she made it up into space, she was given less than a 20% chance of returning to Earth alive. But she took it in stride.
She
Even
survived
helping them
so
make the
many
necessary
things
design changes to the Mercury capsule.
by sheer
It was like
luck
going
and
to work
miracle.
every day at NASA to make her own coffin.
So the
Then,
fact that she
without
actually
warning,
died by
the U.S.
the
received intelligence that the
by
Soviets had
Naked
moved their
Snake's
Vostok spacecraft
hand
to the launch site.
is because
The
she
launch was
chose
set
it,
for the following
you know.
day, April
She let it
12th,
happen.
1961.
Because every time before she wouldn't die, like, it was too early. It's crazy.
America couldn't let the Soviets beat them with Vostok. NASA was forced to cut short the testing process and move the launch date up. They pulled out all the stops to get it scheduled for the earliest hours of the next day. The spacecraft would be launched from Cape Canaveral in the dead of night. For the flight path, they chose a course that would take her as far east as possible. She'd be able to see the Earth in daylight from the window, at least for a little while. The boss climbed into the Mercury capsule, having completed less than 80% of the regular flight procedures. Both the timing and the flight path were risky, and testing was far from complete. But NASA had no other choice. The boss, for her part, never expected to come home alive. She was going on a one-way trip, the American version of Laika the dog. And yet she went all the same. Someone has to be first, she said. If fate has chosen me, then I accept, for my country, for the balance of the world. That's how she saw things. My chances may be slim, but I'll take them. I've accepted my fate. If anyone can get through this, I can. Then, on April 12th at 1:30 in the morning, the boss entered space. It was nothing short of a miracle. First, that she'd made it in an incomplete spacecraft. And second, that her flight coincided almost exactly with Gagarin's. As the sun rose over the horizon, and cosmic rays began to bombard her through the window, she saw the Earth. I think you've heard the story before. It was a world without borders, a perfect jewel. All nations, all ideologies. They seemed so far away. It almost made her laugh. knowing that they'd risked so much to beat the Soviets by a few short minutes. If she'd seen Vostok from her window, she probably would have waved. But the two spacecraft were destined for very different fates. Gagarin circled the Earth and returned to the Soviet Union, safe and sound. The Mercury capsule, on the other hand, deviated from its planned re-entry angle. The addition of a window had thrown the capsule's aerodynamics off balance.
Of course.
The boss's coffin veered wildly off course and began to plunge
The coffin.
earthward.
Ah, the boss.
The course deviation caused the capsule to
What
miss
a
its
woman.
splashdown point by a wide margin. It didn't have enough time to decelerate before crashing into the sea. The force of the impact shattered the spacecraft before it started to sink like a stone. The boss used the last of her strength to escape to the surface. Her body was covered in bruises and scorched by radiation.
Yeah, the cosmic
It was a
rays as
miracle
well.
she was still alive. She slipped into a coma and didn't regain consciousness for 6 months. To some, what was worst of all was that she had lost the space race to Gagarin by only a few minutes. That aside, it should have been a proud day for America. Its first manned spaceflight. Sadly, her accomplishment was kept out of the history books. An attempt to save face by Washington. In contrast to Gagarin's orbital flight, America had only managed a ballistic trajectory. Her flight time was much shorter, too. And most importantly, the Soviets had brought back both spacecraft and pilot safely.
Crazy.
NASA couldn't even conjure up a half-hearted tale of heroic survival. The coup de grace, though, was the Soviet
grace.
propaganda campaign that kicked into gear after the flight. The Earth was blue. Those were the words of Gagarin on his return, and the whole world was listening.
Imagine the pressure.
In the blink of an eye, Gagarin was an international celebrity, earning
Like, you come back
accolades
and
from
you...
every
He must
corner.
have been thinking, what am I
It
gonna
was a
say?
PR coup for
Like,
the Soviet Union.
imagine.
Meanwhile, Washington could only
I'm
grit
gonna
its
say the
teeth
Earth is
in
blue.
silence.
Like... Because
They
it's true,
decided
but
there
like...
was no value in making the boss's flight public,
I don't know.
that it would only make matters worse. So they buried it instead,
Too many people listening.
labeling it a dark
I would have
mission.
fumbled.
NASA and the CIA did everything in their power to erase all traces of the boss from Project
They
Mercury.
tend to do that a lot, eh? With
The
her.
result was the photo you see before you. Not a bad job, huh? Not only did they expunge her flight from the records, they denied that she ever existed. And that wasn't the end of it.
She is stronger than
As
me.
an alibi, the military claimed she'd taken part in the CIA's botched
I would have burned the whole world down.
And when the boss was
Give
finally
me
well
my
enough to return
glory.
to service, they wouldn't take her back. She was forced to go underground. In the public eye, the boss was still a hero of World War II. In reality, though, she was anything but that. She was a non-person, fit only for the blackest of black ops. In effect, she may as well have been dead. Gagarin went on a worldwide tour in front of millions of adoring fans. The boss, meanwhile, was a walking secret, unable to breathe a word about her experience. The authorities in Washington had this to say: "Why are you still here? If only you'd had the decency to give us a nice quote like Gagarin and then die an honorable death, you'd have gone down as a hero."
Well, fuck
3
you
weeks
too.
later, on May 5th,
Oh my
Alan
God.
Shepard, one of the Mercury 7, made his own ballistic flight. They sure didn't try to cover up his achievement. Of course, he owed his
My eye
success
is
to the
still,
lessons learned from the boss's tragedy. Before
pink.
sending Gagarin up into space, the Soviets had used a mannequin
But it's getting
called
better.
Ivan Ivanovich to test the landing procedure, which would make the boss America's version of a crash test dummy. But she didn't care. "I'm happy to be the dummy," she said. "If it'll help the project
She is
succeed,
too good.
nothing would give me greater satisfaction." And that still wasn't the end of it.
The boss had worked through the anti-Moscow faction of the Soviet Union's philosophers to place the sleeper agent. And at some point, the Soviets found out about it. Yet the Americans remained oblivious to the end. Even the philosopher network the boss plugged into never tipped them off to the double cross. That could only mean one of two things. Either the pro-Moscow philosophers had intervened, or the anti-Moscow philosophers had been turned. Either way, it was a situation their American counterparts couldn't stand. To preserve the philosopher's good name, and to repay her debt, so to speak, the boss once again made her way into the Soviet Union. There, she found herself face to face with the Soviets' own agent.
The sorrow? No?
And who should she find awaiting her return to Russia? The one who turned her sleeper against her. Who'd fed them lies all this time. It was her former comrade in arms.
Yeah, I knew it.
The father of her child.
I knew it. I am following.
As the sorrow. He didn't know it was the boss who'd sent the sleeper.
Ah, that
Or to be
explains
more
a lot.
precise, the Soviet philosophers never told him. Former lovers. Forced to fight. To the death. One would live and one would die, she told me. That was the revenge the Soviet philosophers had in store for me. If both of them survived, their child would suffer in their place. They were left with no other option. The boss shot him. He offered no resistance.
Yeah, he just gave his life.
When she returned from the Soviet Union,
When he
there was
noticed
no
it was
place
her,
left
he
for
was
her
like,
to go.
okay,
She'd
I'm not
sacrificed
killing you. Like,
everything for her country. And in return, they treated her like a dead woman. She was made a scapegoat for no good reason.
it's kind of crazy because she went in space and saw Earth without borders, and she still was loyal to America. Like,
Major Zero. And so Fox was born.
hmm.
She undertook a mission that, well, you should know better than anybody.
That's how
You were
she
a part of it. 20 days after Shepard's
almost
flight,
raised
President
Snake.
Kennedy announced that America would put a man on the moon. Without the intelligence the boss obtained, America's space program would never have caught up. Armstrong and Aldrin might never have walked on the moon. But the Americans' gain had cost the boss her health, her honor, and the man she loved. The word tragedy doesn't even begin to describe.
Sorry, my eye is itchy a little bit.
The Soviets continued their manned space flights, and in 1963, Valentina Tereshkova became the so-called first woman in space. It's said they took their cue from NASA's long-buried Mercury Lady project. And so that, Snake, is the mission that kept her away from you for so long. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why not use me as her agent? She knew I'd never even think of betraying her. I think it's because she didn't want to drag you into it. She probably knew what was going to happen. To complete the mission, she'd have to turn to the philosophers, and once she did that, whatever came of it, there'd be a price to pay. No one understood that better than her. So please, Snake, let it go. When she gave me the photo, she left me to decide whether or not to pass it along to you. I know she was torn about it, just as I was. She knew you'd probably blame yourself. Why did she hold on to it for so long? That, I can't say. To remind her of how much it hurt to be erased. She wasn't that kind of person. No. meant it to be a message to you. She had her identity, her life taken away.
She was
But she wanted
used
you,
so
of
many
all
times.
people, to know the truth. Snake, you've probably already figured this out, but it's no accident that I'm only now sending you something I've withheld for so long. Little Bird tells me you recently made a big decision. You and the boss are different people. I understand that. And I'm not trying to second guess you. I simply wanted you to know what she
And
saw,
it changes
how
nothing,
she felt.
which is crazy.
That's all. Keep it with you, Snake. Keep it deep inside. Don't ever forget the path she took. Because you and I are the only people on this earth who know the truth.
And even though, for all this,
I'm sorry, but I can't.
after all this, nah. Those were so good. The Strangelove ones and Eva's ones. Database, you guys said that I can see my insignias. Hey yo, 12,000 points of heroism. Let's see. Total CQC count 219. Total holdups 263. Headshots 155. Not bad. Ah, here we go. I have 9. Stealth Master rank C. We have Butterfly. Mainly use short-range weapons and favor taking down enemies with non-lethal force. Cool. We also have Bear. Given to soldier, mainly use CQC and favor taking down enemies with non-lethal force. And that's it. I mean, I like Bear. Acquired codenames. Help. Huh. Over 25 missions without being spotted by the enemy. Stealth Master. Master of non-lethal force, 50 missions without killing anyone. Damn. Hold up. Over 100 enemy soldiers. I have rank B, over 250 enemy soldiers. Hold up Master. Let's go. It's so funny. No recovery Master. 50 missions without using recovery items. Nice. CQC Master rank C. Over 100 times. And that's the little hands. Headshot Master rank C, over 100 headshots. And that's it? Or other ops specialist? Oh yeah, because I did over 25% of other ops. Fulton recovery specialist. Over 100 people. Do we have something else? We don't. Wow, there are so many. That's crazy. Codename Bear. Nice. Okay. I want to see the Kaz Date now that I know that that exists. So let's do that. All right, date with Kaz. Let's go.
Snake, the sunsets are so pretty here.
Are you feeling okay, Kaz?
Wow.
I mean, I've got MSF business to think about and all.
I'm not playing. I'm just gonna watch.
It's nice to just sit and watch the sunset.
Aww.
Yeah.
It looks different. I think this is the PSP version.
Would you be up for going to the coast to watch the sunset? Just the two of us?
Just the two of us. Hey, what is this attire? I don't have that. I don't think so. What the?
Been waiting for you. Nice packs. Maybe we were meant for each other. Take me to heaven, Snake.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Can't wait any longer.
Oh my god!
Guess it's time to launch some fireworks.
You're kidding, right?
I knew you had it in you.
Naturally.
I like it.
I like you too.
You're pretty good.
Cut it out. You're making me blush.
Sweet dreams.
You're pretty good.
You mean in your arms?
Oh my god!
Start talking.
I got nothing to hide.
That was like moaning a little
No
bit.
skeletons in my closet. Okay. There's one thing I never told you. You were always my...
You're what? Oh my god. Oh my god!
I'm not that kind of guy.
Oh. What is this? What am I watching?
What exactly do you plan to do with Monsieur Miller?
I thought Miller was your friend. I don't think I'll ever understand you two.
What you two choose to do with your time is up to you. But I am not impressed with knocking someone out to take advantage of them.
I agree. Thank you, Strangelove.
Snake. You want a picture of me?
Don't
Make
look
sure you
at
get
me.
a good shot of my muscles. You're making me blush.
Why did he say it like that?
Those things don't have X-ray vision, do they?
Box time.
Yeah.
Get inside.
Right.
Okay.
Ooh, got room for two.
Oh lord. This is so much better than Paz. I didn't even see the whole thing date with Paz, but this is
Glad to be with you, boss.
10,000 times better. Oh, wow. Oh, Snake.
That's cold,
Jesus
Snake.
Christ. No, don't make him sad.
Surrender.
Not gonna happen.
Somebody get over here.
I'm here.
Oh, the little...
I don't think so.
That's just like you.
Wrong.
Sorry. I
Oh.
misjudged you, Snake.
Oh, you made my baby sad. How dare you, Snake?
I didn't mean it. Come on.
Meow. Meow, meow.
What are those?
This is fantastic.
What?
Say goodnight.
You sure?
I see.
Yes, that was
Watch
so
this.
funny.
We are still in this fight.
That's right. We can do this.
I'm ready to go.
Anytime.
I'm with
He
you.
is so cute. Look at
Oh,
him.
Snake, you're gonna make me cry.
Oh.
Don't die on me.
I'm not gonna die on you.
Loyal to the end.
You're kidding, right?
I feel the power within me.
Me too, Snake.
I'll handle it.
I'm counting on you.
Aw.
I can feel them.
I'm feeling your vibes, boss.
Chill out. I can take it.
Okay then, here I go.
Oh my god.
Turn it up.
Getting better all the time.
Good work.
Arigato.
Arigato.
Good to have you.
Hey, come on now. We're friends, aren't we?
Nice one.
We're just getting
Feeling
warmed up.
your vibes, boss.
Settle down.
You expect me to stay cool like this?
It's not over yet.
Yeah, our battle's just getting started.
Good luck.
I don't believe in luck.
I'm shocked.
Target's added.
This is the
You
best thing
talking about
ever.
me?
I'm going in.
Come here.
I'm going in alone.
Hug it out.
Why, Snake?
Sorry, I just...
What's wrong, boss?
How many of those? I don't have those.
Snake, you...
Rest in peace.
What are you talking about?
Best ones die young.
Good point.
Peace won't come to us.
If they're not gonna come, leave them alone.
Victoria o muerte.
We can't afford to do that either way.
Line up the shot.
You sure know how to kill a guy.
Don't die on me.
You
Wait. What?
I'll pick up your bones when I'm done.
You do that.
I'll be sure to notify your next kid.
MSF is the only family I've got.
Oh my god.
10, hut!
I'm always watching you.
Don't be an idiot.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Don't let him get away.
Guys, this is
I'm
canon.
not running from this.
I'm not making the rules.
Engage
This is canon. It
Lay
happened.
off.
Deal
There's
with
nobody
it.
else around.
Missile!
Yeah, I don't think we'd survive that.
Big boss!
Big boss.
Vos means you.
Hasta la victoria, siempre!
Venceremos!
Big boss!
You're the boss.
That was so good. This is canon event. I don't care. This is a canon event. It is what it is, guys. I don't make the rules. All right, guys. So that's it for now. I know there are a couple of things I haven't done or seen. There's like more stuff to do. If you guys want, I could maybe do it on stream on Twitch. You know, just for fun, do a couple of things. But I don't think I'll do any more for the playthrough on YouTube. But yeah, if you want to hop on the Twitch side of things, maybe I could do something there. Maybe we could have some fun with the rest of the extra ops. I'm not saying that I will do all of them, but I know there's a couple of Easter eggs, and apparently there are dinosaur battles. I'm like, huh? I didn't see any of that, you know, so if you guys want to maybe give me some pointers and stuff like that live, I think that could be cool. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. But yeah, I'll stop it here for today. The Kaz Date is the best thing I've ever seen. It's by far the best thing in this game. It's canon. It's a canon event. It happened. Yep. That's how it is. History will say they were besties, but we know the truth. Okay, so yeah. Next game, of course, is going to be Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. That's going to be the next couple of episodes, and then Phantom Pain. Of course, I'm super excited for it. I've honestly stopped reading comments that talk about MGS5. If you guys are leaving comments about MGS5, just know that I'm not reading your comments, because I've noticed that some people are giving their opinion on the game, which is fine. It's your right. It's totally cool. It's just I don't want to know. I want to make my own opinion on the game whenever I play it soon. I just want to play it and not have any expectations and not come in with any sort of ideas about the story or the gameplay. Or I already know, of course, that the gameplay is amazing, and some of you guys don't like the story. But apart from that, I don't know anything else, and I'm going in super excited. I'm going in with a really open mind, and I don't want to change that. So I have stopped reading comments in the last couple of days for that reason, especially when there's a comment saying like MGS5 or Ground Zeroes or Phantom Pain. I just go, okay, cool, next. So don't be personally offended if I don't answer as many comments as I usually do. But yeah, I've just had to step away a little bit from the comment section because I want to keep my experience as pure, I guess, as possible, as authentic as possible, and with an open mind, which is still the case. I'm super excited for Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain. And yeah, I have loved Peace Walker, of course you guys know that. I've talked about it so many times, and what I think of the characters and all that. You can go back and rewatch those episodes if you're interested in knowing, because I've seen some comments saying, oh, what do you think of Naked Snake, or oh, what do you think of Huey? Like I've already talked extensively about what I think. It's all in my videos, you know, so I'm not gonna do another video just on that or something. But yeah, we can talk about it more, of course, in MGS5, as it's, I know, the continuation of the story. And yeah, I'm super excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think it ends up being quite a long episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, even though it was very long. But yeah, I'm excited to see you guys in Ground Zero. So see you soon. Bye.